Hi, this is my review presentation for week 9. So before we started talking about jumping into the abyss finally, um, we kind of briefly went over some of the themes that we've been talking about. So some of the narratives, the Fresnelian methodology, talking about the um, contexts that are influencing the stories, the background history, um, and that each of us kind of have a different orientation and different experiences mold stories. Um, and then we jumped into one of our readers or one of our writers for this week, Delaney, talking about a little bit about his past. So his grandparents were actually slaves. He was a highest ranked soldier. He's a major. Um, he was accepted to Harvard Medical, but then dismissed shortly after because the white members of Harvard didn't want him there. So he actually writes about self determination, emancipation, and the Exodus, um, returning to Africa and calling it his spiritual homeland, although he was actually born in America. Um, so then we watched a video kind of depicting the transformation with time of America. Um, it's it kind of showed a technology movement, industrialization, um, kind of a process of merging, going from very big open fields and then um, eventually turning into a road with a gas station and electrical lines and practically no field or no gas, no nature really. So that was kind of what was depicted um, as America's history. Um, so that kind of goes with the social world or the economic transformation of the U.S. With the advent of the printing press, which makes multiple changes, not only in the social world, but economically, politically, religiously, even. So we actually then looked at some pictures representing different classes, different sets of pictures, in which you can see a difference in the working class versus the elite. Um, like their clothing was a symbol, even their orientation in the pictures. Like the one of the working classes um, with kids and their backs were faced towards us, versus when you're looking at a higher social class and they're actually facing towards us. So you can see the metaphorical value because they're just posing, and they're obviously taking this picture at their leisure. They were able to hire a photographer of some sort or have a camera of some sort. So um, you can see the difference in equality. And then we talked about a democracy, so moving from a republic towards a democracy, which literally translates into the power of the people. Um, and then you kind of view the relationship between the social and the political aspect. So you kind of have to think about what are the actual government's responsibilities to its citizens as a democracy. Um, and then we did a little snack bite of each of the authors that we've been reading. Well, not all of them, but a majority of them, um, who are all actually answering this question of what are the government responsibilities. So the um, my last um, need to know, the fifth one, is just a little review of all of the people that we've looked at. So Garrison has actually a religious argument, and he's saying gradually granting freedom is you can't do it. It's absurd. And we're universally rational. Then we go on to Grimke, who emphasizes education is a model for women to make decisions, even in the private life, um, not just socially or politically. And then we go on to Bancroft, who talks about equal rights politically, and then extends that to social and economic rights. And then he introduces the idea of populism. Then we go on to Beecher, which also speaks about populism, kind of equal rights, a social cohesion instead of um, separation. And then we talked about Emerson and Thoreau, who speak about the injustice as a result of industry without limitations. Um, so you kind of see those in the pictures as we industrialize with the steam engine or with mills and stuff. You see degradation of um, human life. Um, and then we talked about Calhoun, who says that there should be some sort of structure from the government. You know, it can't just be like throwing freedom around and saying, "Oh, well, you're free," but you have to figure out what to do with it. So that was my review presentation for week 9.